Hello and welcome into the RotoWire esports show. I'm Andrew Laird, joined as always by Ethan Sexton. Happy Easter to those who celebrate. We are here today to talk about the Monday-Tuesday 2-series LPL playoff slate on DraftKings. The Sunday slate went exactly as we expected, except the total I don't think we've gotten a slate as wrong as, as we did on this morning's slate.
No, it was brutal, man. I don't really feel that bad about the Suning WE series. Like, I didn't expect it to be a sweep one way or the other, so got that part of it wrong. But knew that Suning were, competitive enough. Even though I played WE, I fully admitted that Suning were good enough to win. So that wasn't like the worst thing in the world. And while we acknowledge that Genji were good enough to also beat T1, never saw them just absolutely snuffing them out like that, man. Just the way that T1 were playing, and the recent series where they destroyed Genji, just did not see that one coming. I could T1 losing isn't like the biggest shocker, but the fashion in which they lost was quite surprising and quite bad.
Nine kills in 3 games is pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, especially just the way they had been playing. I mean, they were not only winning, they were smashing teams, including Genji. So that was the more surprising of the 2 series to me. I would have thought if Genji were going to win, it would have been 3-2. Like the series went the distance, but didn't work out that way. So that one was the bigger shock to me for sure.
And also some subs in the middle. I think I saw. Did I see that correctly? Oh, never mind. I thought I saw Gumayushi came. I thought I saw that he came in. I could be wrong, but
maybe I missed it. But I'll double check.
Either way, yeah, we couldn't have couldn't have gotten that one any wronger, if that's even a word. But the nice thing about DFS is that we have another day to bounce back. Of course, with the playoff slates, it's going to take a little longer for us to realize those days. But so yeah, Suning, after their win, get to play top in kind of what we previewed a little bit yesterday. We were saying that Suning didn't beat anyone above them, and I guess that was true. You made that point that since it was opening day, top was technically not above them. In fact, I think opening day they go by alphabetically, so top was actually below them in the table.
Exactly. It all makes sense now.
So we know exactly what they are now. But yeah, the 2 series odds-wise are almost exactly the same. JDG favored against FPX and top favored against Suning. Both favorites are basically minus 150, which is really as close as it gets usually. So we've got JDG FPX on Monday and then top Suning on Tuesday, because the best thing about 2-game slates is making them go 2 full days. But like, where do you go? Because I mean, obviously all 4 teams I think are pretty reasonable in terms of making an argument that they can win. I think we did say yesterday that if top and Suning played again, we would be all over top. And we have our chance right here, except they're about as expensive as you can get.
Yeah. Really, really difficult slate, in my opinion, because, kind of like what we talked about yesterday, though, like this point of the playoffs, it's only good teams against good teams. Right. So, it's to be expected. So, so Suning, or top and JDG rightful favorites, finished the season, obviously ranked ahead of both FPX and Suning. And both come in pretty good form, looking like, the teams we expect them to be. But I want to posit playing double underdog tomorrow and Tuesday. And I'm just going to explain why, even though I'm not sure that FPX or Suning are going to win, I think they have a good chance to win.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's in the cards. I think it's the lowest owned combo, which is good for a 2-game slate. And we already know, we talked about it yesterday, that Suning smashed top in each team's opening game of the split. Not only won, but won in pretty dominating fashion. Yeah. Albeit top were not in the best form to start the season. They're in much better form now. So we need to factor that in. And then for FPX and JDG, so JDG have won 5 straight series. Do you know who their last loss was against?
FPX?
FPX, and it wasn't close.
Yeah.
39 kills to 14 in a sweep. So I'm just throwing the idea out there because I think it's the lowest owned combo. I think these teams are good enough to win, even though I'm not sure that they will. So I kind of am positioning myself to go with double underdog and get the double leverage and hope it pays off. Do I think that they're both going to win? It's probably won't work out that way, but it wouldn't be a surprise to anybody if they did, I don't think. Just 4 good teams, so really you can go wherever you want. But I kind of like the idea of having 2 good teams at the lowest ownership combination.
I was trying to convince myself one way or the other of a way to go, because I think you can go all 4 ways. I actually think you can make some top JDG lineups anyway, like double 80 carry lineups, and if you can do that, then I think a lot of people are going to try that. So I think that at least one underdog, and certainly the double underdog, could absolutely get you some great leverage, because usually if you have 2 favorites and you can play carries, a carry captain, then people are going to do that. Like, it's sometimes League of Legends feels very easy, and those are situations that feel easy, whether right or wrong, they're easy, and people tend to gravitate that way.
To your point, like, you can definitely build double 80 carry JDG and top lineups. How owned is that going to be?
Yeah, right.
You think that's the highest owned combo, right? So I definitely don't want that. I mean, if people think that JDG and top are both going to like 3-0 smash, which is certainly within the realm of possibility, it could happen. I don't think that's likely that they both sweep, but I also didn't think that today's series would both be sweeps. So anything could happen. So if you really feel strongly that that's going to happen, then I think play that regardless, because that's probably the highest upside lineup in that scenario, even though you're going to tie with a bunch of people. We saw on the Damwon FPX slate yesterday, I think it was Damwon FPX, but double mid was pretty chalky, but it was still a decent way to go, and you got a good return on your investment. So if you really have a strong lean that that's going to happen, that JDG and top are both going to smash, then I have no problem going that way. But you got to expect that since you can do that, it's going to be pretty chalky. I mean, when can we ever fit double 80 carry for the 2 biggest favorites? I mean, these are small favorites in comparison to most slates, but when can we ever fit double 80 carry with the 2 biggest favorites on the slate? Never, really, right?
Yeah.
So,
I think the way you differentiate is not playing a carry captain. Like, if you can ever play one, then you play one. I think that's what people generally, and we talk about it all the time. Like, so if that's an option, just do it. But like maybe it's a double mid day, double jungler. Like these teams have really good players at every position. That I don't want to say it's a double top lane line or top. But it could be. Yeah,
it could be. All 4 of these top laners are absolute beasts, man.
Right.
So I don't hate the idea. I just think, like, if you're thinking along the lines of me, like where you're going to play FPX and Suning double underdog, then I think there's no real reason.
Agreed.
Already going to get leverage by playing that combination, so you might as well go with the optimal double 80 carry or double mid laner if you like that better. But if you're playing something like JDG and top, then you're going to need probably to different. Like, everybody's probably going to play double 80 carry, maybe double mid, because you've got Knight. Yagao is not the prototypical like mid lane carry that we think of, but he can be in games. It depends on what champions he plays. So those combinations are probably going to be the 2 highest owned on the slate, I would think, because you got double favorite carry options. But double top is not a bad way to go, because 369 and Zoom are studs, Bin and Nuguri are studs. Like, they're all awesome players who can play carries and take over the game from top lane. So I don't hate that idea, especially to get some leverage if you're playing like double favorite. And then to your point, like the jungle, like Kanavi is a guy who plays carry junglers and can take over games, so I don't hate him as a captain option either. And you got to think that top and jungle captains are going to be lower owned, just because you can do pretty much whatever you want on this slate.
Yeah, we talk about how top is expensive, but like the pricing is fairly loose on this slate to allow you to play guys that you want. I
Yep.
kind of wanted to convince myself that one of the teams wouldn't score well enough if they won. But like once you go down that road, like it doesn't really matter on a 2-game slate. But like
Right.
these are 4 of the 5 highest kills per game teams on this in the entire league.
Yeah.
And they're on this slate. RNG is the only other one, and they're just waiting in the wings for for what's to come here. So
Later in the
it's
week.
like statistically, no team jumps out, either good or bad. Odds wise, it's all expected to be close. Like I think, I don't think there's and we just talked about how you can basically play any position as in terms of your captain. Like I honestly do not think there's a way you could make a bad lineup from this slate unless you started playing like 3 guys from 3 teams. Like I don't think a one-off is justified on this slate, even though they both could easily go 3-2. Like that's the worst part of this slate is that like I think we would be surprised if there were sweeps, but like not overly surprised. And
Right.
if they were 3-2, 3-1, like this slate can go however we want. This is like the least helpful video we've ever done because it's like not only are we saying like play whoever you want, but it's also like you can play whoever you want basically because of the pricing.
It is. It makes it hard in that sense because you can literally do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So you can't make a bad I think like a stupid lineup would be to go double support because what's the point?
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
But like other than that, you can basically justify doing anything on this slate. But yeah, it kind of feels like we're being you and Jordan on the soccer pod talking about goalies, but we're talking about the entire slate.
The entire
Just
slate,
do whatever
yeah.
you want, you know. Yeah, I mean, I don't like the game stack ideas, but could a game stack work? It could. I don't think that it will, but I never think it will, in fairness. But yeah, it's like we're trying to talk about the series and what we think might happen. So it's more the game theory is helpful today than really talking about lineup construction because, yeah, I mean, you can pricing wise, you can make any lineup that you want. So whatever way you're really, you know, if you have a strong lean, just go with it, you know, and nothing's going to be considered a dumb way to play on this slate.
Yeah, I think as like unhelpful as that is, I think it's just like, you know, we do our best to not just talk about what we think will happen. In fact, we kind of try to avoid that. Not avoid it, but like we talk about what we think other people are going to do.
Right.
I don't think a game stack works on this slate. Like I think the 2 winning teams will definitely outscore the highest scoring losing team. Like I just don't see that happening. I think because of that, maybe that's how you differentiate. But like I'm not going to differentiate that way, and I'm much more willing to game stack than you are. But these teams are too good that in wins, I just expect the winners to have just a lot higher scores than whoever loses. And frankly, if you have even one sweep or even a 3-2, you're probably dead if you game stack the other one. So, or if you game stack that one, excuse me. So I don't see the game stack working on this slate. And then I think Top's the highest, the most owned team on the slate. Like I think there are very few situations where Top is not the highest owned, and I really don't see any of the others being higher owned than Top, just because they're always highly owned, and that's why. So maybe Suning's the leverage there.
I think they're the team with the like highest ceiling if they win, if that makes sense, because I think they have a lineup of players who can just any one of them can take over the game.
Yeah.
Score insanely well. So if they win, they're probably the highest scoring team on the slate, but there's just no guarantee that they're going to win. But I do think that combining the fact that they're pricing wise the biggest favorites, and you know they have that upside that people know about and think about with big name players like Knight and Jackie Love, I agree that they're probably the highest owned team on the slate.
Yeah. So I mean that at least should push people to Suning if they're looking to fade the highest owned team. Like it's as simple as that. But
right.
It sounds dumb because I'm like, but I think Top wins. But I also thought Suning was going to lose in their last one. So maybe that's just feels like the perfect revenge spot here for their opening season loss.
Yep, I agree. I honestly think that JDG and Top will win. But I don't feel like as confident enough in it that I want to just like go all in there. You know what I mean? So I'd rather get the leverage by either playing one underdog or even both underdogs, like I said, and just building my lineups more for a leverage standpoint because these are four awesome teams and anything could happen. I mean, we talked about cash games for yesterday's slate, the slate that happened yesterday, not the slate that we previewed yesterday, which was today's slate. There we go. But that one, like with Damwon and FPX, we felt like they're going to win. I want them, like, even though they're going to be chalky, I want to play them, and then I'll just play cash games. Like this slate, I want nothing to do with cash games. No way, man. I'm just going to take my shots in GPP and go for the lowest ownership and hope it clicks. But at the end of the day, I think JDG and Top have been better and more consistent throughout the full season. But four awesome teams, upsets can happen, as we saw today, and it wouldn't surprise anyone. So, yeah, I mean, good luck, everybody. Like, this is a tough one, but it's a fun one for the viewer, you know, and it's a good series to watch. We're coming down to the wire on the spring split, so it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, but it's going to be challenging for DFS.
Yeah, for sure. If you guys have enjoyed the video and somehow got some answers out of what we gave you, if you could please hit the like button below. Feel free to subscribe for all the RotoWire videos. You can also try a RotoWire subscription at rotowire.com/YouTube. Gets you 10 free days to the site. No credit card required. Access to every sport we cover, as well as our subscriber Discord chat. So definitely take advantage of that. Ethan, thank you, and good luck on this one.
All right, we're gonna need it, man. But it'll be a fun 2 days of watching league at least. So we've always got that in our back pocket, even if our lineups crash and burn.